What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mateo Family Vibes. Let me ask you a question. If you're coming over to the Philippines, or if you're in the Philippines, one of the main things that you're going to need is cash, because the Philippines is mostly a fiat type of country, a cash type of country. So what do you do when you need cash? What ATMs are the best to use? Do you know what the best ATMs to use are in the Philippines are? Because they are all not created equal. So in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about what are the best ATMs in the Philippines that you can use to withdraw money. Because at some point, you're gonna need cash to transact here, for the most part. Because I know most of you foreigners don't have a Gcash account that's like fully verified and things of that nature. So very likely that you're going to need and use cash. One of the biggest problems that you're going to have while you're here in the Philippines, even if you're, let's say, living here full-time or coming to visit for a month or two, are fees. Fees honestly are going to kill a lot of the value that you get here if you don't know what you're doing. Let's talk about what are the best banks to actually use the ATM if you actually need to withdraw cash. So first, let's go ahead and talk about the fees. Every time that you use your American or out of the country debit card or credit card at an ATM, the ATM here is going to charge you a fee. Okay, that fee for that foreign card is typically going to be 250 pesos, and that's per transaction. Now, that's not included upon any other fees that your bank might charge you because you're using the card internationally. Okay, so make sure that before you even come to the Philippines and start withdrawing money from an ATM, you first understand and know what are the actual charges that your bank is going to charge per transaction if you use the ATM. So know that here, the standard fee is essentially going to be 250 pesos. 250 pesos is essentially around $5 per transaction. But here is the kicker. Most ATMs here in the Philippines have a limit of around 10,000 pesos to withdraw money. 10,000 pesos is roughly somewhere in the neighborhood of about $200 or so. So every time, and let's just say that you want to withdraw, more than $200 from the ATM, or more than 10,000 pesos, you have to basically do another transaction. That's another 250 pesos per transaction. So you could see how easily this could add up over time, costing you literally hundreds of dollars over time if you decide to live here in the Philippines. The number one thing that I would tell you is, if you're going to use an ATM, make sure that you're withdrawing the maximum amount of money that transaction, because you don't want to just withdraw $20 or $60 or anything like that. You want to withdraw the full amount that you can, because if you have to go back later that week or something of that nature, you're going to be charged another fee on top of that. Now, if you have a bank in the US or any country where you come from, whatever country you're coming from, if they charge fees on top of it, it's going to be really expensive for that just one transaction. There are some ATMs here that do allow you to withdraw more than the standard 10,000 peso. Okay, so China Bank. Okay, the main banks here are BDO, BPI, China Bank, Metro, Security. Those are the main banks that are going to be here in the Philippines. Most of those are essentially going to allow you to withdraw 10,000 per transaction. China Bank allows you to do 20,000 per transaction. Okay, so that's a lot better. So 20,000 roughly is about $400 dollars or so, give or take, depending on the exchange rate. All right. Now, there is one bank though that allows you to do a lot more and doesn't charge you a fee to withdraw the money. So what bank am I talking about? So the bank that I'm talking about is going to be HSBC. Now, it's not a very popular, let's say, bank. Like, they don't have ATMs all over the place here. That's number one. The main two branches that they have is they have one in Makati and they have one here in Mandaluyong at the Shangri-La Plaza. Okay, so those are the two places that I know that would have the branch and then also the actual ATM. Now, the cool thing about the HSBC bank itself is that they don't charge fees on foreigner cards. So you're not paying the 250 pesos, okay? Also, the great thing about HSBC ATM is the fact that they allow you to withdraw 40,000 pesos, or about $700 or so, give or take, on the exchange rate. So a lot better. Now, here's where you have to be careful, is your bank in the US, because some banks in the US do charge an astronomical fee for using international ATM. So, for example, Bank of America, I would say probably one of the worst banks to have, to be honest. Bank of America, if you use an ATM here, okay, let's just say specifically HSBC, they will charge you $20 for that transaction on top of a $5 transaction fee. So if you have Bank of America, not the best bank. I think the best ATM to use here, especially if you're in Manila, is HSBC, because you're able to withdraw a large sum, 40 to 50,000 pesos per transaction, just one transaction, and you don't get charged a fee, okay? And another thing that you need to be aware of, very important, okay, is when you're using the ATM, all right, if they give you an option to do the exchange for you, please make sure that you select no to that exchange rate. That exchange rate that the ATM gives you or the bank gives you right on the spot is horrible. And I do mean like literally horrible, okay? For example, I used the HSBC bank to withdraw 40,000 pesos the other day, just to test it out and see what the exchange rate was going to be. They wanted to give me an exchange rate of 52 pesos to a dollar. It's a horrible exchange rate, okay? At the time of that day, the exchange rate was 57 pesos to the dollar. So an absolutely horrible exchange rate. And this is not just for HSBC or anything. Any ATM, anywhere you go is going to give you a horrible exchange rate. So please, always select no to that. If you're using your card at a store, if you're buying something with your debit card, the American debit card, or your credit card or anything of that, and the cashier asks you, do you want it in pesos or USD or whatever your country's currency is, always say pesos, all right? You do not want that horrible exchange rate. So please make sure that you pay attention to that if you're using your credit card or debit card from your country. Quick recap, all right? ATMs are gonna charge you astronomical fees here for withdrawing per transaction, 250 pesos for most of the banks, and you're gonna be limited to about 10,000 pesos per transaction. China Bank ATM, I know, allows you up to 20,000 per transaction, and HSBC, anywhere from 40 to 50,000 pesos per transaction, and no fee for foreigner cards, okay? So, as always, please make sure that you are aware of what fees your bank is going to charge, okay? Now, the cool thing is if you are from the US and you have, let's say, a Fidelity or a Charles Schwab account, you actually don't get charged fees. So for example, if you have a Charles Schwab account, or your checking account through Charles Schwab, and you have the card and you actually use it at, let's say, any ATM, whether it be BDO, BPI, Metro, whatever, and they say they're going to charge you $250, they'll charge you the $250, but at the end of the month, Charles Schwab will actually refund you the ATM fees. So if you have that type of account, fantastic account to be doing business here, because you won't get charged any fees. Same with HSBC checking account. If you have an HSBC checking account, you will not get charged any fees as well. They also do the same thing, refund. Fidelity also does the same thing. If you have those accounts, fantastic. It's a good thing to have those accounts before you come. If you're coming to live in the Philippines and you don't have those accounts, please, before you actually leave, go and get a checking account at either Charles Schwab, HSBC, or Fidelity, and get those type of checking accounts, so that way your transactions are going to be credited back to you at the end of the month. All right, so hopefully this video brought some light into using ATMs here in the Philippines, and hopefully it was helpful to you. All right, let me know in the comments below, how many of you guys were shocked or surprised at the actual fees that you get charged here for using the ATMs in the Philippines, or if you're planning to come over, if you don't have those accounts and you now know, let me know in the comments below. Until the next video, we will see you in the next one. Peace.